Welcome. Today we're going to talk about adding audio to Google Slides. Today we're going to talk about creating the audio files, and if you're going to put them into Slides wants them to be either an MP3 or a WAV file, and how to save or upload the files to your Google Drive. And in case I forget to mention it, we're going to look at some ways that you might be using, like your phone. And if you're going to take something from your phone or an iPad or something else up to Google Drive, you also need to install the app Google Drive to that device. Talk a little bit about how to share the audio, inserting the audio into Google Slides, and then maybe sharing Google Slides. Vocaroo is something you can use on a Chromebook. You can also use it on a computer. I do believe most things that you can do on a Chromebook you can do on a computer, but not vice versa. This I have tested. I've used it with very young students, and you can Google Vocaroo to find it. It's just vocaroo.com, or if you have a copy of the slides, then down in the notes at the bottom, I've put the link. Also, if you click right here, I've made this a link to Vocaroo. And once you get on the Vocaroo website, you'll have this big red button. If you click on that and start recording, then you click on it again to stop recording. And down here on the bottom, this box appears. Let go of my mouse so that'll go away. And if you can click on, that's where you've clicked the red button to stop it. You can click on the triangle to play. If you like what you hear, you can click save and share. If you don't, you click the red button and do it over. If you click save and share, then you get the second box on the bottom, the yellow box, all the places that you can share it. And what it doesn't have a place to go straight to Google Drive. So what you need to do is download it and then upload it into your Google Drive. So the students might have a little bit of trouble with that, with finding it in their Google Drive and then uploading it, but it will be on the files of the Chromebook because it doesn't seem to go straight in there. So again, if I click here, I'm in Vocaroo, and I don't know if it will record because I'm already using my microphone, but if I click on the mic and then I'm recording for a while, click the mic again. This is where you can click and listen to it, or click and start over, click save and share. And then if I download it, and on my computer, it's downloaded down here at the bottom, it's in my download files. And then I would open up my Google Drive, and I'm in a folder that I want to be in, and click File Upload. And because I'm on my computer, I'd go to my downloads and I would find it, and it's one of these that I had downloaded yesterday. I did not download this morning. So back to our slideshow. Another option is to use online voice recorder. And again, it works on your Chromebook and it works on your computer. You can add an extension. This is what the extension picture looks like for online voice recorder. If you want to add an extension, it is unlocked now, so the students can also add an extension. To have the extension doesn't do anything but open up the website. And so you might find it easier to post the link to the website in your Google Classroom for some students, or you can put the link to the extension and have them download it. Kind of depends on how many extensions they've got and how crowded it's getting up there and how often they're going to use it. With the online voice recorder, it will come up with some buttons, and you click the blue microphone to start and stop, and then here on the right at the bottom, it changes. You can click the green button to play or the yellow button to download. The only problem I found with this, when downloading, it does go to your Google Drive, but it goes to just my Google Drive. It does not go to a folder, or I don't remember it letting me choose a folder, so you're going to need to navigate. So click on this, This is what it looks like. It has more information at the bottom of the website. And then I can click and I can record, turns to a red button. I can click to turn it off, and then I can listen and I can download it. On my computer, I found this one nice to use. It was called Voice Recorder. And if I go to that website, I've not only got a red button to record, but I've got a little bit, some editing tools here. And it saves as an MP3. So if I click, I'm going to that site, this is what it looks like. Click button to start recording, and click record. And it's recording my voice. You can see where you're talking. When you're finished, click the red button to stop. It says it's processing. And now you've got these sliding buttons. So you can see I've got some dead space before I started talking. So even without listening to that, I can grab the slider and slide it over. And I don't know if I want to slide that at the end or not. I can listen to it. When I click save, it does save directly to my Google Drive, and I liked that. The problem I found was when I opened this website up on my Chromebook, it said I needed to download something and I couldn't download anything, so I could not get this one to work on my Chromebook. I liked it on my computer, so if I'm a teacher, this is probably the one I would use, because if I was going to use the computer voice, because I could edit this quickly, at least from the beginning to the end, and trim it and then save it. I have an iPhone, and on my iPhone, I downloaded the one called Voice Recorder and Audio Editor. It was one that I found that was easy to use. It saved as an MP3. On the left is a screenshot of what it looked like on my phone. Came up like it's an old-fashioned tape recorder. You click on the record button, you click play when you're on, and then you click stop, and then click play to hear it. This button on the right says save as, and it saved it to my phone, and I could name the file, and then I could select the file on my phone, click this upload button, and put it into my Google Drive. And again, this is where you would need to have Google Drive loaded on your phone. When you install it, this was so I wouldn't forget to remember to tell you about it. If you have inserted the file into the audio file into your Google Slides, and the other person does not have permission to get to the audio file, they may have permission to read your slides, but not the audio file, this is the error message that they'll get. And we'll look at that a little bit later. That's going to come up a little bit later on one of the other slides. I do not have an Android phone. So I called a friend, and my friend tried this out, one of my other digital learning coaches, co-workers, and she used Voice Recorder. It does save as an MP3 or WAV. I don't know if you have to choose or if it automatically saves as one and you have to switch to another. It isn't going to matter because both of those would go into slides. And so it would work, I assume, like the one on my phone. There would be some type of button to record and listen and save. And then she said, yes, she could upload it to her Google Drive. Again, and she also mentioned that you'd have to have Google Drive downloaded and installed on your Android phone. Okay, so let's talking about inserting it into Google Slides. See if I can get out of presentation mode, out of full screen. If I'm in my slides and I want to insert audio, I'm going to come up here to the top and click Insert, come down to Audio and click. It's going to open up to my drive, and it shows me a lot of the audio files. And it did this even if I couldn't, if I wasn't saving them in a certain folder. And notice it will go to my drive, shared drives, shared with me. A lot of things won't come in from shared with me or your recent. And when I find my audio file, I can click on it and select. I've got so many pictures on here. It came in right here with the blue arrows around it. And I've got a picture of kind of what it looks like down here, but the picture doesn't work. This would work. If I'm in edit mode, then when I click on the picture and I want to hear it, I can click here.
Testing 1 2 3, testing. Testing 1 2 3, testing.
If I'm in present mode, sometimes this box shows up below, but you can also click on this button. Clicking on this button right now won't play it because I'm in edit mode. If you want to change some of the options, and you'll notice on the right, format options, I think is automatically opened, but if it didn't, if I have selected this, then format options is up here on my menu, and I can click and a sidebar will open. And I've got a picture here of some of the things that you can do. You can tell it just start playing automatically when it comes to the slide. You can tell it to insert on the click. When you click on it, you can tell it when you move to the next slide not to play anymore. If it was music, you might want it to play through every slide. So that's not usually your voice. So that's when you would take off that and let it play for more than one slide. And then you could tell the audio when it finished to loop again. I can't imagine if that's your voice, if that's what you're going to do. Hide icon when presenting. If you turn that one on, then it needs to play automatically when they get to the slide. I'm picturing, I taught kindergarten most of my classroom life when I was in the classroom for 18 years. And I'm picturing more that if you're taking the time to insert your voice on each slide, that you might want to let the student play it and then play it again if they need to hear you again, and play it again if they need to hear it again. So if I'm going to close this audio playback, some of the other things that you could change, size and rotation, I don't think I've changed that much. If you want to move where things are, I usually just slide it around, but this can help you get a little bit more exact position of where it is. Now, I do think recolor would be nice because the color doesn't have to stay gray. Although it doesn't give me all the colors I want, it can show up and be a little bit brighter color, and then I can grab the corners and make this bigger. So if I was teaching little ones, I might want to make that a little bit bigger. Drop shadow reflection, I don't think that's, again, how it's going to appear. So clicking format options has to do with the way it's going to play and also the way that it's going to appear. And delete that back out so it's not on the original. And we need to talk about sharing. So if I've made a slide presentation and I've put audio inside of it, if I'm going to give this to my students in Google Classroom or Canvas, they're taking care of the sharing. If I'm going to post this on a Google site or share it in some other way with my students, then I'm going to need to click on share. And I have shared this so it goes on my Google site so you could get to it, and I shared it so anyone could view. So when this started, it started out that anyone with Fayette County can view, and this would require you to log in and be able to log in with your Fayette County account. You are Fayette County people, but sometimes you even have trouble with that if you're on another device and it's picking up your Gmail account. So unless I really need to restrict it down, I will usually unlock it further by clicking on the drop-down arrow. All your choices say Fayette County, so I click more, and the one I usually use is the second one down that says anyone on the link can view, because I don't want you editing my slides. Save, and then it's here, and I click copy link, and I can email that, or I use that to post to make the link on the Google site where we showed you that this would be saved. In the same way, we talked about how if you haven't saved the audio file, that even if someone can see the slides, they're not going to be able to play it. So you're going to need to be able to know where that audio file is and which one it is. So as you're doing them, you may want to do them one at a time and find out where they're going and how it's naming them. You can see in my Google Drive, this one from Vocaroo. This one is saved because it has little people next to it. This one that says recording MP3 is not. If I wanted to save it from here, I would right click on it. Again, I would use the share button. Even if I click shareable link, it has not been shared and I would have to go to share to change the settings. So I would click on share. Comes up with the same share box that we had with our slides. I would click get shareable link. But the reason, again, I've done it inside the share box is because I want to get to this box. This one says anyone with Fayette County can view. If I click the drop down arrow, I would have to click more, anyone with the link, and save, and then done. And so now I can see that it's saved, and my guess is on the slideshow, some of them, that one I haven't saved, so you'll get an error message on whichever that one is. These were some of the resources that I watched in learning how to do this. And this is the only guy that talks about sharing the audio files. And I thought, well, maybe Google has changed it. So I went in and tested. No, if you don't save the audio files and you open it up as someone that doesn't have rights to it, then they're not going to be able to play it. So here are some other recordings that you may enjoy, but it really is important that you share the audio files. What I did not cover today was adding music. So yes, if you can save the audio file from music into your Google Drive, it's possible to put it in there, and that may be if you're doing a slideshow with a lot of pictures that you want to play it across the slides. I want to urge you to watch out for copyright. The what I would call radio music, you don't have permission to use, and we use SoundSabound. Sometimes we have rights to SoundSabound's licenses. Right, you can log in. Okay, so there are the licenses that I have, and you can see which kind of music they have. A few more. If you're browsing, you can search. Sometimes if you want something of a certain length or a certain category, and I can search for it. And then, interesting. Don't hear any difference between those two. And then I would download. It's downloading. It says it SoundSabound. It is an MP3. And then I could go to my slides. How about I insert a slide at the end and then delete this in a minute. Insert audio. It's not my drive. I have to remember to upload it to my drive. So back here, click on new file upload. In my downloads, there's my SoundSabound file. Click open. Down the bottom right, it's telling me it's uploading, it's completed. Back to slides, insert audio. SoundSabound just showed up. Insert. Anything else I can help with?